Hello there, welcome back to our channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all of our homeschool stuff. I did a video about 6 months ago saying what I hope to plan for our homeschool, what curriculum we were planning on using, and just kind of everything that I hoped it would be. And since we are 6 months in it, now I wanted to update you guys and talk about how it's going, what I think about it, the curriculum we used. We all know that things don't go exactly as you planned, so I wanted to talk about kind of the changes that we made. I just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on here with our homeschooling. Let's get started. First, if you have not seen the last video, we did choose to go with the good and the beautiful for our homeschool curriculum. This is our very first time ever homeschooling. My daughter had just turned 5 this November, so everything is very new and fresh to us, and I have heard amazing things about this curriculum. I loved that it was straightforward, it was easy to go through. I absolutely love the math workbook and the little box that it comes with. It is by far my daughter's favorite thing. It is no problem to get her to do a lesson. In fact, most days we do 2 lessons a day. I'm really big on hands-on learning for kids and them being involved and them learning in a fun way and not such a structured and boring way, and this math unit has been perfect for that. They have a ton of different games, they have a ton of different activities for you and your child to do together while they learn the concepts, and it just makes math so much fun for them. So most days we actually have been doing 2 lessons a day, and this workbook is supposed to last you a whole school year. We are already currently on lesson 100, and I think the book goes up to 122, and it is only January. So we are by far going to finish the book very early, which is awesome. I was not expecting that whatsoever with her, but it's been so awesome to see her just be interested in it and take the initiative and want to do it. So that has been really fun. I think they did a great job making it to make kids want to learn. I have taken the approach, like I said in the first video, that I am not going to be enforcing a strict schedule on our homeschooling right now. I just wanted to start developing our habits of pulling out the workbooks and kind of find a rhythm and routine of learning at home. And so far that has been working really well. The hardest thing that I have had is just being consistent and developing that consistent routine. I really struggle with that. Okay, what I mean by that is that we are doing school here every day, but I have not gotten it where we are doing it consistently, like every morning or every afternoon. It seems like we have weeks at a time that are consistent, and I would really like to just develop a better rhythm for us for our homeschool. So within the 6 months of doing this Good and the Beautiful workbook, my daughter has been able to count up all the way from 1 to 100. She has also learned how to count from 2s and 5s, and she's working on 10s right now, and she's mastering addition. We're working on subtraction right now, and really it just blows my mind how much she's learning at such a young age. There are some concepts that she has a hard time with and she's just not really into grasping yet, and I don't force those. I completely let her take the lead with this. Even though it is a workbook style and kind of more like the traditional school route, I still let her take the lead and kind of tell me where she's ready to expand in. And the days where she really just wants to focus on addition, I'm okay with that. Even if our lesson necessarily doesn't have addition in it, she will probably skip to a lesson with addition into it because that's what she's wanting to learn. And I have learned that it's just best to go with it and let her take that lead. And sometimes we'll crank out like 3 to 4 pages of what she's interested in, as long as I let her take that initiative. But if I really put my foot down and tell her, no, we have to do this lesson today because this is the lesson we're on, it gets nowhere. We both get frustrated, and it just discourages her. I have definitely learned that to kind of let her have a little bit more control with that. I've kind of learned to just let her take the rope with that, let her take the lead, you know, within reason, and that has worked out really well for us, especially with this math course. For our language arts learning at home, I decided to go with the level K primer from the Good and the Beautiful, and this one I just got the PDF version and I put it inside this little binder. So I opted to go with the K primer in the beginning because my daughter has showed very little interest in learning like her writing and her letters and the sounds. I knew that we had a little bit more work to do than the numbers. I opted to go with the lower level for language arts, which I'm very happy I did that because we did have a lot of work to do. In this course, my daughter has mastered the letter sounds, which has been awesome. She has also improved her handwriting tremendously just by working in this book. At the time, I did not have the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. Since completing this course, I actually went ahead and bought the handwriting practice because I thought maybe she'd be interested in it because she actually liked doing the tracing. which is completely shocking because she's never like that before. But I was happy to see that she took an interest to it and we worked through it. Now, language arts has been a little bit more of a struggle than the math book, which I kind of knew going in because she really did not show an interest. But we just took it at our own pace, and I really tried to be encouraging, and if we got frustrated, like I said, we'd put it down, we'd revisit it at a later time, and I just really wanted to make it fun, and we completed the whole course. Now, this one only has 34 lessons in it, so really it shouldn't take that long to get through, but it did take us a few months because I was very lax on what lessons we did each day. I just really let it go at her pace. We have completed it, she enjoyed it, and that's what mattered to me. Since we completed the Level K primer, I went ahead and got the Level K course for language arts, and so far we've done really good with it. The Level K comes with the reader books, and it also comes with mini books and then these little books as well to work on your sight reading. The Level K course seems to be all prepping for learning how to read, which is amazing because I'm so excited to start that process. And I know she is dying to read. So we have been working really hard on learning our sight words, learning all the sounds of the letters, which we did in the previous course, but really just emphasizing that so we can sound out the words. She gets so excited when she reads one of these books and she can read it to me or her dad, and it's just so cool to see. So I think starting with the lower level definitely helped gain her confidence and encouraged her to keep on trying. Another thing that I opted to do while learning the Level K primer was getting these phonics cards. This has been great for her learning the sounds of the letters. So we just go through these every day. At first it took her a few minutes to get the groove of what the letters were, but now we just go through them really fast. It really ingrains the sounds of the letters. That way when we are sending out the words, she can retain that really fast. And it's great for Delilah, who is my 2.5-year-old. She likes to sit there and do it with us. So it is awesome for her to get a head start, because that is something I really wish I would have done with Melina ahead of time. Now, if you are a seasoned homeschool mom, you're probably saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. Your kid doesn't need to read till like age 6 or 7, which I completely agree. I realized I started everything very early. My daughter is just 5. And typically with homeschooling, you wait a little bit later. But like I said, I really just want to establish this routine. I want to get my hands into it. I have been so excited to dive into stuff, but by no means am I putting that pressure onto my daughter. I am completely okay if she does not read until later on, because that's when her brain is ready. I am letting her take the lead. We're just working on it a little bit at a time. We're making it fun. It's great bonding time. It gives us something to do during the day. And that's my approach on it. So if you're thinking here, whoa, like your daughter is so young and you're doing so much, I get it. I kind of feel that way too. But at that same time, I still have those emotions like, am I doing enough? And I think that is one of the hardest things with homeschooling, is finding that balance of doing too much and doing too little. But just know you're doing the best that you can, and I just remind myself that I am doing the best that I can with what I know now. And every day and every month, we are learning more and we are changing and getting better, which is the beautiful process about homeschooling, is that you learn alongside of your kids. And I think that is just so amazing. One thing that I really did not like with the language arts course is it was a lot of directions of telling your child to do this, telling him to do that. It was very quiz-like, constantly in conversation, like tell me how many letters are in the alphabet, tell me the vowels, or point to this, point to that. And I just really, it was too directional for me, and I really didn't like that. I like more where we can kind of be a team and learn together, and it was very teachery, and so I did not like that part of the language arts course. So sometimes I wouldn't even word it the way that they said, or I would just kind of skip over it and I would almost like review with her. The last thing I want my daughter to feel is that I'm constantly talking down to her and kind of like reaping these demands of educating her. I really did not want her to get that vibe while learning with me. So like I said, I just kind of tweaked it. I could see why she would get frustrated when she was having a hard time or struggling with something, and I was constantly like telling her, all right, what's next? I did get the Good and the Beautiful handwriting course printed out and put into this binder, since my daughter loved all the tracing in the math book and even the language art books, which completely surprised me. I decided to go get the handwriting course, but she really hasn't seemed interested in it. She'll pick it up occasionally and trace like 2 letters, and then she's like done with it. I would really like to incorporate where we do like a page a day to practice her handwriting, but she's just not feeling it. And I'm okay with that because honestly her handwriting is very well for her just doing it as she's doing these workbooks. We will see if she shows an interest, but I figured it'll just be good for something to do when she's bored or even throughout the summer. If you want to see more homeschooling content or even homesteading content, we do have an Instagram account, Acres of Adventure. So in September I found this group of homeschoolers from the Wild and Free community that meet up in our local area. We have joined this group and we do a weekly co-op and we go explore parks and nature centers, and it's just been such a huge blessing to our family to join this community. And I have been learning so much about homeschooling. It has been very cool to talk to other moms and kind of hear how they run their learning at home and their ideas and all the different types of methods. And I have just been learning so much about kind of where I want to take our homeschooling. And if you guys have been around for a while, you know that I really do love the Montessori style approach. But what I really love about that is that it is child-led, and I think that is what really sold me on that approach. But as I continue to learn about different methods of homeschooling like Charlotte Mason and unschooling and nature schooling or game schooling, there's so many different cool ways to do schooling, I have decided that I'm kind of going to take bits and I'm gonna take bits and pieces from all these different methods and make my own. I think that is what I will be most happy with, and I will adapt it to what works best for my children. I think sometimes we get so caught up in trying to put everything in a box like Montessori or Charlotte Mason that we really rob ourselves from the best experiences of everything. And I think if we can take what works for us and make it into one, then we get the best of both worlds. So something that I've heard a lot of seasoned homeschoolers do is read alouds, and I kind of dove into learning about what that meant and how it looks for the family, and I absolutely fell in love. I love incorporating a daily time of an hour or two where we sit down and I just read stories aloud. I'm sure if you have young readers, you have heard of the Magic Treehouse. This is such a good series just to start off with your read alouds. They're interesting for the children. It's like a mystery series, which I used to love as a kid. But it's like fun mysteries for kids. They get to go on all these different adventures, and it is somewhat educational because it takes it back to a time in history. We did a book about ancient Egypt, and it's just been cool to learn different things like that. So far I think we've read 12 of the books, and we've actually switched over to doing a few of them audio style on Spotify. They offer for free because I don't have the hard copies. I love the idea of just the read aloud time. I love that we could do it like as a tea time where we have tea and we read our books, or we could do it like afternoons outside on a big blanket and I read aloud. I actually did this a few times in the fall when it was still really nice out and the mosquitoes were all gone. We would just get a blanket, go outside. Lila and Theo actually ended up napping while I read to Melina, and it was just so nice. That is what I envisioned homeschooling to be like. Just slow paced, quality time with your kids and making beautiful memories. And that reading out loud to me is one of the best ways to capture that. I don't know, it is just so special to my heart. I hope to grow our children's literature. I actually just picked up these books at the thrift store this past weekend. The Tale of Peter Rabbit, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White. Now, these are all 45 cents, and what I love about it is they're not Disney themed, they're not like cartoon characters, they're like the children's literature. The Magic Treehouse books were such a great place for us to start. However, I would really like to expand on where we take our reading aloud. Alright, that's everything I gotta say about our first few months of homeschooling and our curriculum, The Good and the Beautiful. I really do enjoy it. I think it is a wonderfully made curriculum. I would love to know what curriculum you use, or if you've used The Good and the Beautiful and what you think about it. I will see you guys in the next one.